Welcome to Charting Crypto's Commodities and Currencies. We're going to jump into Bitcoin in the cryptocurrencies first. What do we see going on there? Down 8% on the 24-hour-a-day chart. Remember, Bitcoin is traded 24 hours a day. The ETF is not, but Bitcoin itself is. And in fact, you can see the buy-sell updating as we do the program. We see a doji right now, almost a doji. I guess you could call it a spinning top too. After a real spinning top last week, again, we're just getting into this week nice and solid. We had decent volume the last 3 weeks, really. Well, 4 and 5 also because we just hit. In fact, we can go all the way back to, mid-June, late June, where we've had decent volume. But after the big down week on that week beginning the 5th of August, things have just sort of been digesting that, and Bitcoin's deciding which direction it's going to go, and it has not told us that yet. As we look at the 2-day chart, you can just see things sliding sideways, doji, spinning tops, all that kind of stuff since things really bottomed hard on that Sunday, Monday 2-day candle, and then it's just sort of been sliding. So we're waiting for Bitcoin to sort out which way it's going to go and hopefully give us a good chart to help us find a bottom. What would have been nice is after that big down move, we gotten a green spinning top here, but of course, with all that volume, but we didn't. So we're waiting for things to sort out. What about Ethereum? It is down for the day 2.22%. Again, had a big down week the same week that Bitcoin did. The week prior was also a down week for Ethereum. And again, it's easier to see because we have down candles. We don't have spinning tops here. But again, not plumbing those lows yet. So we'll keep our eye on the market when it comes to, of course, the king of cryptocurrencies, which is Bitcoin, and the queen, which is Ethereum. Now, if we look at Bitwise 10 Crypto Index Fund, it is top 10 cryptocurrencies weighted per market share. Interestingly enough, it's up 0.83% for the day. But when you look at the 195-minute chart and the 2-day chart, you can see where, again, it bottomed that Monday, Tuesday, and then the Wednesday, Thursday didn't hit as low, and you had some up candles there. And this latest Monday, Tuesday, 2-day candle is a red doji. So again, up in the morning, not pulling back all the way. In the afternoon, like we said, up 0.83%. All we see here is indecision on that weekly chart. So charts aren't telling us much about cryptocurrencies, so we'll just bide our time and see which way the wind blows. What about some interesting commodities? We have been tracking these lately, and we'll keep an eye on them. This week also, corn. Corn, peaked all the way back in mid-May and then rolled over and has been going down. Now, we see some indecision this week. Right now, so far, we saw some indecision back on the week beginning the 22nd of July, but then it rotated back over going down. How low will corn go? We don't know. It may turn around and start peaking up. When you start seeing spinning tops, they're showing you some indecision. Maybe it'll find a bottom, and we'll see an up move. We are seeing somewhat of an up move right now in copper. We don't have any volume to help us make that decision, do we? We did not have it on the interim low, had a doji last week with just about average volume and then up some this week, but down for the day almost 1%. Silver. Now, silver again, and I blew this chart up earlier when I was looking at it, and you can see as far as the weekly chart goes, silver, its most recent peak, the peak on silver was the week beginning the 20th of May, and then it burned some of that off the next week, down for a few weeks, popped back up, then rotated down hard. Last week, a green spinning top, this week up, but we didn't have volume to back that up for us. I mean, maybe one or two of you jumped into silver seeing that spinning top. So far, so good. Up for the day, 0.15%. Not enough for me to consider jumping into a practice trade on that. Let's go to some energy. The U.S. Gasoline Fund down for the day, 0.85%. Last week was a doji. I mean, we saw this interim high, but again, we haven't had volume helping us out a lot. So a doji last week with some decent volume, but then rotated right back over. What about nat gas? Natural gas, we're going to the second week of some up movement. We did have an interim low with some decent volume, but then we had a red spinning top and then a red up candle last week, not doing all that much for us. Down for the day, 0.27%. U.S. Oil Fund, now here's the real tricker. It moved down to an interim low, and then in the whole, again, I tell y'all all the time, I don't like, green up candles for jumping into moves. And again, if I bring the line over here, it looks like it has a little tick on the bottom. It doesn't. It's just a green up candle. Those kind of turnarounds I don't like. I want to see a spinning top, a green spinning top without huge wicks on either side. Makes me feel a lot more comfortable when volume is backing up a changeover. And of course, what did it do? It didn't sustain it. It moved right back over, down for the day, 0.74%. Let's move on from commodities to currencies. Let's look at the British pound first. Up for the day, 0.35%. Pound moving up nicely. But again, nothing helping us here as far as volume goes. 2 weeks of strong volume and down movement, then popped right back over. What about the euro? Well, again, we just nothing helping us out a lot on any of these currencies. Just nothing that makes me feel good about jumping into the pound or the euro on this latest up move. We haven't had volume signaling us with interim lows and switchovers. Now, when we look, or crossovers as we like to call them, we look at the yen, of course, it took off. We saw the yen bottom out and then a green spinning top. Again, what we're seeing on the Heiken Ashi candlesticks here are beautiful. We didn't have the volume for the low, but we did have the turnaround with decent volume. And then what did the yen do? It shot up until the Bank of Japan was forced, of course, to increase their interest rates, which tried to give them some control of letting the yen just bust out of sight. For the day alone, up 0.95%. Again, volume since that week where things shot through the roof beginning the 5th of August has really dropped off since then. That is where we are, my friends, on cryptocurrencies, commodities, and real currencies around the world. We love to step back once a week, look at these other charts, real things like commodities, and of course, crypto things like cryptocurrencies. And we love to look at the world markets when it comes to what the world currencies are doing. We always love to hear from you. You have questions, problems, concerns. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.